on-demand clips from the council for the last 5 years, so well done to that. So we're celebrating the day by moving our live stream to YouTube. This means you can watch the council meetings live from just about any device. Is that right, Devla? Thank you. And so I'd like to welcome, are we on stream now? Welcome our viewers out there on iPhones, internet sites, communication devices that you have. Councillor Truman, could I ask you, give us a blessing for today, please.
I te atua kārawa kia tata mai koe kia mātou I tēnei rā. Manaki te a mātou mahi katoa, I rungi te ingoa, o te matua, o te tama, o te wairua tapu, ake ake, amene.
Amen. Thank you, Councillor Truman. No apologies, everyone's back, and special welcome back to Councillor Broddy, who's been on international duty. Nice to see you back, John. No conflicts of interest, so we'll get straight into item number 1, confirmation of the council minutes of the ordinary council meeting on the 28th of July. Do we have any matters arising, any typos or any corrections of those minutes, please? Councillor Jollins.
Thank you. Through the Chair, just as a matter arising on item 1, just would like to seek an update on the consultation regarding the mobile kiosk and whether any follow-up had been made after that meeting.
What page are you referring to, sorry?
Oh, attachment 1 bar 1.
1 bar 1?
Yeah.
Through you, Your Worship, where officers are currently going through the consultation, and we expect to bring something back to you in the form of a workshop and then an agenda item within the next couple of weeks.
Okay, any other questions? Councillor Broddy?
Chairman, could I just query, and it might not be the appropriate time in regards to item 19. Could I just ask the question if it's appropriate, the reason why the Taupo Wellington Air Service update was not released?
It's in confidence, so yeah, we can talk
It's in
about
confidence?
section.
So when we go into confidence later, I can ask that question.
You can ask that question and then, yep, release it if we can. Okay, any other? Councillor Cousins.
Through the Chair, just to the CEO, just under item 8, it was in, and I'm hoping you can help me out because I'm not 100% clued up on it, but we deferred the Turangi-Tongariro direction of the sale process in accordance with the district plan. Are you able to tell me what part of the district plan affects the car park? I'm not too sure.
Yes, would you be able to?
Yep. So we had a workshop, I think a week ago, where we went through the policy process. I can provide you with the handouts from that, which will give you the specific details.
Yes, because I'm not too sure where this fits in with the district plan.
So the district plan has got a whole lot of policies and direction around that comes from the structure plan, so that's all within those handouts, which I'll provide to you.
Through the Chair, just to follow up on
Councillor Jollins.
Thank you. Just to follow up on Councillor Cousins' comments, so I think you're asking for specific references to the district plan, aren't you? Not where that would be, correct?
What impact the sale of Turangi-Tongariro Street car park has on the district plan? I don't know where those two fit together.
So again, that information is within those handouts, and that will also be within the item when it comes back to you.
Okay. Any other questions or queries on item number 1? Okay, we'll go to item the next meeting. Then we'll move them. The extraordinary meeting on the 4th of August. Any questions or queries on that, or any matters arising from those minutes? Councillor Broddy?
Chairman, it's not necessarily arising from the minutes, but I've gone back through as to what this committee will be made of, and I refer back to the council meeting of probably would have been June, in regards when this was discussed. I believe there was a meeting in July. Was there an attendance from this council at that meeting.
Aye.
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
I don't think there was, no.
The meal plan?
No, there was a mayoral forum meeting, but that's not this committee. The mayors met on a Sunday. There was a subsequent committee meeting. I don't think anyone attended that particular meeting.
No, and through the chair, as the alternate, it was the week of the Local Government New Zealand Conference, and having 2 or 3 days away from home was all that I was allowed.
So effectively then those that were delegated to go to that other one, has there been a meeting on that? That's the one that Councillor
Not yet.
Rollins was a rep? Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other?
Yes, please, through the chair, just on 1/10, there seems to have been a second resolution, or is that just a typo? Please. ...
Move the page.
I think it may have been an either or, and therefore that was removed, and it was item 1 and 3 that would pass.
No, actually, just, sorry, through the chair, yeah.
Whilst the CEO is always right in my opinion, it's the fact that item 2 is to remain in confidence. So item 1's to be released, item 2 is to remain in confidence.
Okay, thank you. All right, it's a recommended resolution that following minutes be confirmed as true and correct. Could I have a mover, please? Thank you, Councillor Hickling, seconded by Councillor Jollins. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Carried. Item 2, receipt of the minutes from Mangakino-Pouakani Representative Group, Taupo Airport Authority and Turangi-Tongariro Community Board. Go to attachment number 1. Any questions or queries from those minutes? Councillor Park?
Just a minor clarification. I notice on 2/1 that the Deputy Mayor passed a resolution, however, it doesn't look like he was present at the meeting.
So you just need to amend the attendance.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Didn't have that in railing, is that all right? Any other on attachment 1? No? The Taupo Airport Authority Committee. No? Okay, Turangi-Tongariro.
That's the question, Mr Chairman. Has the seating allocations on that since our last information, has it increased or decreased, or is it the same? I.e. we haven't had to pay for any seats yet.
Still currently the same, and I doubt we'll get an update at some stage when the next update's through.
No, I wasn't in attendance at that meeting.
Just through the chair to clarify, though, in that particular meeting, we wouldn't have discussed the Sounds Air seating arrangement, but would be quite good to have an understanding of what their load capacities are at the moment. From personal experience, I haven't been able to get on a couple of flights I booked recently, so tried to get onto, so they were full.
There was communication
Councillor
through
Hickling?
the emailing
That's
system.
It was in the weekly update 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Do you want another one since then, or?
No.
Yeah. So you got that one 2 weeks ago? Yeah. Cool. All right. Turangi-Tongariro Community Board. Any? Nothing there?
I was selling this.
Okay, well, that being the case, we'll just move those minutes en bloc. Suggested resolution there. Could I have a mover, please? Thank you, Councillor Stewart, seconded by Councillor Kristowski. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Item number 3, Tahurua Road Seal Extension. Mr Dennis Lewis.
Afternoon, Your Worship. Have a tender recommendation here for the seal extension of approximately 3k of Tahurua Road. I would take the item as read and take any questions.
Thank you, Mr Lewis. Infomax have been doing bit of work for us lately, and
Correct, they did
Standard's
last
been good.
year's seal extension.
Yep, cool. So you were happy with the contractor? Thank you. Any questions of Mr. Lewis? Councillor Body?
I think the answer's been given. If we approve this contract, there's no more monies for seal extension for the 15, 16 years. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And at the moment, reading this, no one has asked for seal extensions. So are we taking a gamble that there won't be any, or we just then defer that?
So could you repeat that question again?
If we accept this tender, whether it's this company or anyone else, there'll be no monies left for the 15-16 budgeted year for seal extension in the district.
Correct.
And there's no one else at this stage who's indicated that they wish something to be done. So are we taking the gamble, or do we then just bring money back from the following year's budget? What's the...
The decision on what roads to seal are based on a matrix that was determined a number of years ago, which sets out a priority of roads that are to be sealed, and we are working our way through that matrix.
So
We'll stop work on that matrix if we approve this contract for this year.
We've allocated about 400,000 this year, and this contract will see that expenditure used.
Yeah, thank you.
great. Okay. Any other questions or queries of Mr. Lewis? Great. Thanks, Mr. Lewis. Could I have someone move the resolution, please? Thank you, Councillor Williamson. Moved by Councillor Williamson, second by Councillor Christowski. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Item number 4, request for extension of Turangi and Omori Refuse Transfer Station operations. Mr. Lewis.
Tender recommendation here. The incumbent is, what do they call themselves? Sorry. Metallic Sweepings Limited. They are current contractor. Their contract allows for a 3+1+1 for the contract. This is for the first 1-year extension of that contract. I'll take the item as read and take any questions.
Thank you. Any questions? Councillor Hickland?
Yeah, I was just going to ask Dennis, what contributes to the increase in the contract price? Is it diesel costs? Is it staff costs? What? How did he assess nearly 200,000 on the actual
The extra year.
contract price?
The contract price, the additional price is 193,000, which
Yeah.
is for 1 year, which represents about an increase of about 5,000 on, if you work out
Yep,
the
yep.
annualised cost, it's about 5,000, which is in line with CPI adjustments for the contract.
Okay, so it's only the CPI adjustment.
Yes.
Okay, and that would incorporate like fuel
Fuel.
costs and
Yeah,
Yep,
wages, that sort of thing.
okay.
Cool. Councillor... No? Councillor Jollins?
Sorry, my maths might be out, but if you, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dennis, but if you had a contract that was for 3 years that was roughly 564, if you divided that by 3, what's that figure, roughly?
Comes 188.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, yes, so it is only 5, sorry. You're right, your maths are right.
Councillor...
Thank you.
For all that comment.
To the Chair, so just following up on what Councillor Hickling said, we're under 4.1, whereas the third paragraph down, it says that the contract is a lump sum contract with cost escalations. That, can you define that? Is that what we talk about with diesel and running
Yes, the
costs?
cost escalations provide for those cost increases based on the CPI.
Thank you.
Cool. And the current contractor, everyone's happy with the
Yeah.
job they do?
Yep.
Yeah. I know I had a ratepayer at Turangi-Tongariro, bumped into him at the service station, and he dropped a whole lot of stuff off there, and it cost him $1. Was that right? $1?
I couldn't possibly comment on that particular
Best deal in town, I thought. But anyway, all right, okay, thank you. Do we have a mover, please, for that suggested resolution that the contract be extended by 1 year as per that figure? Thank you, Councillor Jollins, seconded by Councillor Stewart. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against? Carried. Item number 5, Taupo Sculpture Trust, sculpture proposal, defining horizons. And with Mr. John Ridd and Claire Anderson.
Claire and Nikki with me. So I'll take the item as read. Now I'll get Claire and or Nikki to walk you through it because they're the
Sorry,
artist.
Claire and
Nikki.
Nikki. Hi, Nikki.
They're the
Afternoon.
artist types, not me, I'm afraid. So we'll.
Okay, afternoon,
Thank
Claire.
you. Thank you for having us here today. I first of all have an apology from Julie Temple, who is a representative of the trustees of the Graham Watson estate. She was to be here today, but unfortunately she's at a funeral and could not be here. So just to begin with, I'd just like to give you a little background about the Taupo Sculpture Trust. We were formed in 2008, and we took our cue from Wellington City. We decided that they had led the way as far as sculpture is concerned and enhancing their environment with beautiful sculptures. And so we thought, well, if they can do it in that city, why can't Taupo? And fortunately, some years ago, the Taupo Council agreed that they would work together with us. And we have always felt that Taupo is a marvellous sporting venture, a playground really. Wonderful events happen here, and we were looking for a balance of arts and culture and sport and recreation, and that has been sort of the majority of the feeling that we wanted to start installing some sculptures within the Taupo district. We have 7 works on display at the moment, for which we are very proud of, and 2 are particularly dear to our hearts, and they are the ones that came from our schools project, which we started about 3 years ago, where senior students from Taupo and Tongariro High School submitted designs for a competition, and then we decided to take 2 of those works to full scale. And one of them is Butterfly, which is in the South Domain by a Taupo Nuatia student, and the other one is Tui, which is in the Turangi Township, and that was designed by a Tongariro school student. The feeling was we wanted to take sculpture out to the whole of the community, and we decided that we're better to begin than with our students. And it also had the added advantage of giving those students a chance to make a design that may come to fruition, which in fact 2 have, and give them an opportunity which they would not have otherwise had. And during this process, Taupo District Council and Taupo Sculpture Trust have forged a very strong relationship, and I thank you all for that, particularly John Ridd at present as our go-to man. And I know that Rob Williams and Gareth Green have supported us all the way through this. And that relationship is very important to us. You actually give us credibility, and particularly when we are sourcing funds. When we say that Taupo District Council supports us with 50% of the money that we have raised, that is generally the thing that people say, yes, we're with you, because we have explained that then the work will become an asset of Taupo District Council, and you know that you will also be responsible for the maintenance of such works. So that is a very important thing for us, and we thank you for your support. Now, we're here today specifically because one of our past trustees, Mr. Graham Watson, very generously left us a bequest of $25,000. It is no coincidence that the figure of $25,000 is the same as the Taupo District Council has in their arts grant. So Graham put that in his will, and we were very overwhelmed by that. But he was passionate about our mantra in going ahead and trying to beautify Taupo and make sure that we could get some sculptures standing in our area. He also became the major sponsor of Tūwhiri in Turangi. The terms of his will, he wanted a site on the waterfront, on the lakefront, and or around the Lions Walk. He wanted to have a nautical theme. And what's the other one here now? I just can't see. Oh, yes, yes. And of course, the dollars, he knew that if we had $25,000 from him, we would hopefully get $25,000 from the Taupo District Council. So our search began to find a work, and we found a work from Graham Bennett, who is a well-renowned New Zealand sculptor, and it fitted the criteria, and it fitted the budget, and it is called Defining Horizons, and you all have your submission in front of you, and I hope that you have read and seen that. And I'd just like, Nikki, if you could possibly read just a little bit more about Graham Bennett and Defining Horizons.
Graham Bennett is based in Christchurch. He's a graduate of the University of Canterbury Ilam School of Fine Arts. His large-scale works feature prominently in public places, including Reasons for Voyaging, which is outside the Christchurch Art Gallery. Sea and Sky Kaipara is at Gibbs Farm in the Kaipara Harbour, and Reason to Return is at Connells Bay at Sculpture Park. Most recently, he has been invited to create a large work tipping point for the Seoul International Sculpture Festa in 2012. This work is now permanently installed at the Hai Tai Art Valley Sculpture Park in Seoul. He is truly a man, a sculptor of great significance. He's a very prominent sculptor in New Zealand, and I think we're very fortunate that he has agreed to sell us his sculpture.
Thanks, Nikki.
So I'd just like to conclude that we have our benefactor in Graham Watson. We have found a sculpture, Defining Horizons, that fits the criteria and the budget. And we just now need Taupo District Council to agree with our submission and to support our submission and to support our endeavours to further beautify the Taupo area, to make it a lovely place to live, to make it a lovely place for tourists to come and enjoy what we have in this beautiful place that we live. So I ask for your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you for taking time to come today and for your submission. Councillors, have you any questions or queries? Councillor Krasowski.
Just a question, thank you for that. What height is this art going to be?
3.4, yes, 3.4 high.
And the actual rods, if you want to call them as such, are made of unpainted steel, are they?
So one of them is stainless steel, the other one is mild steel, and the other one is corten steel. So three different.
Thank you.
So it's robust, it's perfect for a public place, and it is made of lasting materials.
Councillor Cousins.
Thank you, ladies, for that. So Define Horizons is its name. Are you able to define the artist's interpretation of what does it actually symbolise? Because I was trying to get a handle on...
Well, yes. Basically, it's when you look at the shapes, you can sort of almost see whakaaro canoe-likes or sailing and navigation in his work. And all of those things were used to bring people together. As they did, the canoes came to New Zealand. It encompasses water and navigation, really, to bring people together.
Councillor Park.
Thank you, Your Worship. I totally support the Taupo Art Trust, and just probably a question for staff more than anything, because the monies do come under a staff delegation, is that being the beginning of a financial year and this being the total allotment, that we're totally at ease with the budget for public art being spent so early in the financial year?
We're not aware of any other proposals that are currently at the point where they'd be ready to have a proposal.
Councillor Jollins?
Thank you, Chair. Ladies, welcome to, and I'm very, very supportive of a piece of work of this, I guess, calibre, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing it in the district. We have a couple of locations that we've identified that we can put public works up. This location that we've been discussing today, which is opposite the hole-in-one, is that your preferred location for this piece?
Yes, it's just off the end of Titi-Raupanga Street and just across the road.
Sure, and that's your
Yes.
preferred location
Yes.
out of potential other options?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Thank
Yes,
you.
we have all gone together as a group and looked at different places that we knew were available, and that one seemed to fit the work, and it just helped. It wasn't the other work, the other place that we had. We felt it was too far away, and this was in touch with the other works that we have, and not too far away from the CBD.
Not too far away from the horizons either.
Well, that's the idea, is to look out at it over the water, and it should look wonderful there.
Thank you.
Councillor Park?
Yes, just another assurance from staff that with the placement of this piece of art, if it was to go there, that the issues with the embankments down by the hole-in-one have all been taken into account. Yeah, great, thank you.
Councillor Gotti, sorry?
Just very quickly, and I think the questions have been asked. You've mentioned that the size is 3.4. On the photographs that we have here, it seems to be higher than that. I'm trying to envisage 3.4. And the concern I'd have it where you wish it to be is, will it affect people coming down Titi-Raupanga Street in regards of vision? Would they look at that, not turning left or right to see what the traffic's doing? Just the location at this stage. Do you think it would create a traffic hazard as such?
I don't believe so, but because the position is not directly, it's slightly south. It's very slightly south. So when you're coming down Titi-Raupanga Street, I don't believe that you're going to be distracted.
Okay. Now, just coming back to the material, you mentioned a number of different steels, which I'm unfamiliar with. None of those steels can take rust?
Well, one of, I believe, Court End is a rusted steel that's naturally, the environment has rusted it, and it stays the same. It stays a slightly furry, sort of rusty colour. The rest is stainless steel and painted steel.
And so that piece of the structure is quite small.
Well, there are...
There's a photo there.
They're all there.
6:05.
One of Mr.
I personally haven't seen it, but one of our trustees have, and she went down, it is actually in Christchurch at the moment, and so she's seen it, and that was wonderful because we had photos of her beside it to get the idea of scale, which was very helpful to us, because before that we were a little bit worried, as you are, talking about scale, how high it should be and how it's going to fit. So that was most helpful to us.
The reason I raised the question of the materials, we had a lot of negativity about our big flower boxes around town that were steel and rusted. So what I'm saying, 10 years' time or 5 years' time or 3 years' time, we don't want criticism of that material.
So if you have a look at on the viewing platform there, to the right-hand side, there's that big piece there. That's Court End steel, and to be quite frank, I've had nothing but compliments about that. So I think people have got used to it. It was just a bit of people's cheese were being moved at the time. I think people have got used to it a bit now. It's fairly well used around the place, to be honest. I've seen quite a lot of it cropping up.
Follow-up question then, I know staff have said there's no applications this financial year for any other sculptures. Have we ever committed the full budget on one particular sculpture in the past? Yes. We have, okay. Yeah. The one that goes...
Yes, that took the grant at that time.
Thank you.
And that's almost the only way why we will get something of significance and a really important piece that holds its value and, it really enhances the area as far as sculpture is concerned.
So can I just ask, so it's existing, it's on display somewhere now existing?
Diamond Harbour.
Yes.
So basically we're procuring it off that, the guy, is the artist that still owns it, does he? Okay.
Yes.
So obviously there's been reasonable negotiations taken place?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you asked them for a discount? Put it mildly, sorry. You've done a deal.
Yes, we have, and it was a hard deal, and we know that we have got value.
Okay, cool. So the actual transportation, all that sort of thing's covered in the budget. There's no incidental costs as far as
No,
concerned?
well, as we've agreed, we will pay for the transport and to get the artist up here to reassemble it. It has to be taken apart for transport put together again. So Graham Bennett will have to come up here. So the Taupo Sculpture Trust will pay for that, and for the container that it will bring up here, and Taupo District Council will pay for its installation.
Okay. All right. So that's all included in the budget, though?
It's all in, yes.
So we won't get an extra invoice for anything other than our contribution?
The budget's the budget, that's 25k
Yeah.
you've got to spend on, that's it.
Yep, cool. Yeah. Cool. All right.
But excuse me, you will also note that that it is GST, and you will get, in fact, 3,150 back from GST. So that will be left in your budget. You'll have about $4,000 left.
Thank you. Thank you, Claire. Cool. All right. Very good. Okay, any other questions or queries of Claire and Nikki or John? No, very clear and concise. Thank you so much for coming along today. There's a suggested resolution there, a recommended resolution. Could I ask for a mover? Thank you, Councillor Jollins, seconded by Councillor Boddy. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Carried.
Just quickly
Thank
before
you.
I leave, at the back is Rhino, who's one of our team leaders from the AC Bass. I'm just trying to introduce some of our wider team to the inner workings in here, so...
Right, so what's his name? Sorry, John?
Rhino.
Rhino. Welcome, Rhino.
Thank you.
Nice to have you. Thanks, Claire and Nikki. Item number 6. Council engagements. Who wants to do this one? Robert? Robert, we'll have a new man.
dates for the day.
Yeah. Okay. Rob, it's pretty self-explanatory there. You've got nothing to add to it or subtract from it, or
Tina hasn't given me any changes.
any changes?
But obviously, from the council's point of view, so take it as read.
Oh, yeah, and
Whether there's anything that you
just the
councillors need.
Zone 2 Zone 2 meeting in
Yes.
Gisborne. Does anyone want to go to
Need
that?
to identify people to go to the zone 2.
Yeah.
Sorry, just before that, Your Worship, I just, in this list of engagements that's dated on the 29th, I've got an extra workshop in my diary at 9 for the presentation of annual reports from EGLT, DGLT, TCT and Kaunihera.
What date's that, sorry?
September the 29th, the Tuesday,
Oh, okay.
before the regional council's roadshow.
Okay, so
Yes.
so add that on the 29th. Raylene, is that right? Yep. I presume it's just been added to it, yep.
Chairman, also in my diary, I had on the 1st of September, the Waitanui Water. Is that?
It's been cancelled.
I was cancelled, okay.
Okay, Zone 2 in Gisborne. I've been attended that in the past, and it's actually an excellent meeting to go to. If anyone wants to go. Not yet, nothing that I've seen. Anyone want to go?
It's good. I've attended previously. Good weekend.
I'd love to, but I'll be away.
You'll be away? Anyone? Anna? Maggie? The only problem is getting there. It's quite a fair way, that's all. You got to, and it's always a debate whether you go for a potiki or the other way, isn't it? You could go by ear, but you'd have to go Auckland, Wellington, you know, there's drama that way too, isn't it? Shall we just leave that one open, and if anyone wants to...
I'm potentially happy
Yep.
to go, but I'd like to see the agenda first,
Yep, cool. Okay, well, I'll...
to see whether it's for 1 day or 2 days or whatever.
Yep. So we get approval now for Bernard, send it subject to
Over 2 days.
whether you want to go. Anyone else want to go with Bernard? No? Pura, but- Okay, we'll put Councillor Krasowski in there if available and the agenda suits. All right, all the meetings, we've adjusted that one on the 29th. Okay, will we have that mover, please, for that? Thank you, Councillor Truman. Seconded by Councillor Park. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against? Item number 7, members' reports. Hand up to the front table.
I haven't got a list.
Anyone want to
I haven't
talk
got
to any of
my
them?
piece paper.
No.
No,
Right, could I have a mover for that resolution then? Thank you, Councillor Krasowski, seconded Councillor Hickling. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for everyone listening out there. What's that? The meeting is closed. The public part of the meeting is closed. There's a resolution to exclude the public for the confidential part. Could I have a mover, please, for that? Thank you, Councillor Williamson, seconded by Councillor Hickling. Those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against?